In this video today from Apostle Arome Osayi, you will learn that many believers are not aware of the kind of contention they can engage in as to breaking a spiritual reoccurrence that is at work in their lives, family, and society, whether it's sickness, death, or misfortunes. In his words, he said, "When you find a consistency in pattern, it's a proof that there is a law at work." Please watch this video to the end and share it with your loved ones who might be needing it.
So just like I said, the mighty guy there brings people into bondage legally. And when a man's bondage is legal, only God can set him free. And that's why you are going to find in the next verse, it is God that responds to this question. Next verse. But thus saith the Lord, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. Are you there? Yes. How does God intend to achieve it? He now shows us how he intends to achieve it. He says, "For I will contend." It's by contention. There are two types of contention. Believers only know one. Believers know the contention in the battlefront, the type we do during night vigils, and we contend territorially, we contend corporately. That's one type of contention. There's another type of contention, which is the contention that takes place in court. You know, only 20 people can be in court. It's normally not a crowd. But the activities that will take place in that court can be the reason why someone is incarcerated for 20 years. If there are only 20 people, but the judgment is going to put someone away for 20 years. Nobody is aware, but he is lost. So I need to teach you how to go to court. I knew my grandfather at 120 years, 109 years. Let me be conservative. 109 years, 104 years. He was more than a century old. He had a straight back. He was not using glasses. He didn't lose his mind. He was strong. He begged to die. Was looking for death. Where is death? Hiding. Everyone in his generation had died. It was clear that there was long life in my family. But when he slept and joined his fathers, no one could make it to 70. My great father, 62. The one that followed, 64. The one that followed, 58. And they were living half as much as their father. You know, when you see occurrences, especially when they are consistent, the reason why they are consistent is because there is a law that supports it. Those of you that know science, what is a law? A law is something that is almost always constant. Gravity. It is almost always constant. That if I throw this thing up, it's going to go down. It means there is a law in place. So when you find consistency in pattern, is proof of the fact that there's a law in place. If you are not spiritually intelligent, you will not be able to read your family and know that all of you, even though you are smiling, you are all bound. It seems you don't like what I'm saying anymore. Well, I knew that a contract was put in place that has cut short the lifespan of my people. And I don't need to wait for it to come to me so that I can verify it with my life. So many of you want to use your life as a litmus test. It's not the way of wisdom. Because Satan, as surely as the sun will rise, Satan keeps time. Witches, they keep time. Necromancers keep time. It's only church people that don't keep time. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty? Shall the lawful captive be delivered? So my ancestors were known to be old people. Everybody dies, and they are the only ones that will be alive to tell the story and say, so many years ago, this is what happened, this is what happened. History was learnt at their feet. Are you with me? Yes. So in my father's generation, they were doing 60. And then my elder brother now dies at 48. Do you understand that? They are improving upon the technology generation after generation. And if you don't do anything about it, you'll be praying in tongues when your spirit will leave your body. The reason why it is so is because there is a law. You don't defeat a law on the battlefront. You defeat it in court. You are not following me. Okay. Now, what was the law that was revealed to Adam in the Garden of Eden? He said, the day that you eat of this fruit, the position of the justice system of heaven is that in dying, you shall surely die. It was a legal case. His rebellion had a legal undertone. So his redemption must be legal also. Are you there? Yes. You are not following me. You see, that's the reason for Romans chapter 5. Romans chapter 5 is telling us the legalities behind the sacrifice of Jesus. Part of the claims of divine justice required that death will be the penalty. So because the spirit realm is capable of substitution, so Jesus then comes, taking advantage of the possibility of substitution to pay that price. But he must not be guilty of the same offense he's trying to pay for. And that's the reason why Jesus could not be the product of the seed of man, because that seed of man had experienced mutation. It should be another separate effort to crystallize perfect humanity that will qualify for Jesus to satisfy the claims of divine justice. He must not be guilty of the same offense. That's the only way he can take our death and give us the liberty that is in himself. You see, so it was a legal approach that resulted in our redemption. And I don't have time to teach you about redemption and the legalities involved. In fact, the word that was used in the Greek when Jesus rose from the dead. Are you still with me? Yes. Stay with me. Don't worry, I will stop talking in the next. Now, do you realize that when Jesus was to be sentenced, there was no law in the Torah that condemned Jesus? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. No law. Out of 613 laws, Jesus did not break one. Are you there? Yes. So, the condemnation of Jesus by the Sanhedrin was on the basis of a doctrine of necessity. It is better for one man to die than for the whole nation. It was not in the Torah. It was generated on the spur of the moment. There was no law out of the 613 laws in the Torah that condemned Jesus. They condemned him on the strength of a doctrine of necessity. Are you there? Yes. So they now took Jesus to Pilate. There was no law in the Roman constitution that condemned Jesus. Pilate sentenced Jesus on the strength of a tradition, an ancient tradition. Are you there? You are not following me. Following me? Yes. Okay. So what was resurrection? Resurrection was the court of heaven looking into the case of Jesus' death. And the grounds upon which he was sentenced were false grounds. So resurrection was God's verdict from heaven, countering the sentence of men, that he was sentenced unlawfully. Let him rise. So resurrection was heaven's judgment on the situation. Do you understand? So heaven's court overruled the human court. That's why he rose from even resurrection was legal. Fortunately for us, his payment was already valid when his resurrection was negotiated by the justice system of heaven, discharging and acquitting him that he was not guilty of the crime for which he was judged. But he had already paid a price that has accumulated as currency in the spirit realm, and anyone can appropriate that currency by faith. The story of our redemption is legalistic.
I hope you've been blessed by this video. If you have, please smash the like button, subscribe and turn on the bell notification button to be notified whenever we drop a new video.